Katie, you're going to talk to us about, our favorite person
Ugh,
in
Pete
the
Hegseth.
military.
Eggs breath.
Eggs
He got
breath
more
cake.
names.
True.
Ugh,
That's someone you should go to the coffee shop first before you get involved.
Okay.
I can't even imagine what his online dating profile looks like. I don't want to know. I
All
was
right.
waiting to drop my kiddo off at school this afternoon, and I saw this video, and I thought it was really good. So we can
Okay.
watch it and then
So,
talk about
yeah.
it.
They're incompetent, and when it comes to Pete Hegseth, I know that he seems to be a white Christian national, but he can't even get the Christian part right in the middle.
Right.
And it was reminiscent of Donald Trump being asked, do you have a favorite Bible verse? I don't want to talk about that. I mean, I'm not the world's most religious guy, but even I can spit out John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Come on, sport, give us something.
Yeah.
And the fact, Jim, that they, I guess, have duped so many actual religious folk, and religious folk, they're great people, most of them.
Yeah.
How in the world they can be suckered in by a guy who dresses up as Pope, he dresses up as Jesus, he then says, no, I'm not Jesus, I'm a doctor. How can they be fooled by this? I mean, how are they not just running in the opposite direction from Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump?
Well, and the Pope has had something to say about this, and we should. I mean, if we have that video of the Pope, I mean, he was
Pope
basically
Leo.
going off on Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth.
Is that it?
No, we're going to listen a little more.
Okay.
Quoting the
Jesus
Bible.
told us,
Let's
blessed are the peacemakers, but woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. Yes, my dear sisters and brothers, you who hunger and thirst for justice, who are poor, merciful, meek,
Yeah, I mean,
and pure of heart, economic or political
going.
gain.
yeah. Glenn and Katie. I mean, I'm kind of wondering what the limits are of messing with the Pope. I just, to me, it seems like a bad idea to keep going there. But Donald Trump keeps doing it.
Well, yeah, that's a bad idea. I also am more troubled. I'm less troubled by the fact that Hegseth invoked Pulp Fiction quotes. I'm more troubled by the fact it was called a Pentagon Sermon. Since when do we have sermons at the Pentagon? I mean, this
Yeah.
whole no, church and state. There's no division. There's no separation of church and state at all. And I keep on going back to this. The invocation of this religious imagery and the Christian invocation of this being a holy war by Hegseth is really disturbing, because it's obviously a ploy to reduce it into a battle of good versus evil, which is appealing in its narrative, right? And when you allow that to happen, it also allows J.D. Vance in Hungary, in advance of Viktor Orban's loss, stating that the reason why we love Hungary, we being MAGA, is because Hungary has figured out a way to return to Western civilization values, right? I mean, it is just so explicit and it's so overt in terms of what they're trying to push on America, especially. It's disturbing. And then if you are going to pick a fight with anybody on this planet, I would not pick the Pope, because you don't have to be supremely religious to
We can stop it
understand.
here. There's just so much to unpack. Like,
The Pope, if I may translate for him, said, "You gonna make me turn back to the old me. I'm from Chicago. Read my package." He said, "You need to check out my background." He said, but he put it in biblical terms.
one of the things I love about the Pope is he never names anybody. When he's like throwing out all these disses. And, for those of you who don't know, like, he was the one that Pope Francis wanted to have succeed him after he died. And so I'm sure wherever Pope Francis is, he's very happy. But and he's more woke than Francis was. Like, he is like, I saw this thing on Threads the other day that was like, I never had cheering for the Catholic Church in Iran on my bingo card for 2026, but here we are.
I'm cheering for the comeback, but I am not cheering for the Catholic Church, and I have no qualms about saying that.
Yeah,
No,
and
but
I
I was
think
one of those yelling at the screen at Hegseth when he's doing this shit at the Pentagon. Go be a preacher if that's
yeah.
what you want to do. Get the hell out of the Pentagon, get the
Oh, yeah.
hell out of our government, and go do your thing elsewhere. It's just it's just infuriating.
He
And
ain't the one to send that message.
people like him make me so angry because he thinks that he can say stuff like, "Oh, well, God has forgiven my past infidelities, so it's okay and you can trust me." And that's just such a crock of shit.
There's no place for it in our government because that's not what's
Exactly.
supposed to be there. That's my biggest thing. Believe what you want to believe, but keep it out of that because we all have different beliefs. And to me, it's offensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Democracy
Well, and I
Jesus
said
has
some men use religion to get away with that behavior.
I really like his comment. Yeah, they're having full-on evangelical worship services in the East Room of the White House. Yeah, it's and the worst part is if it were, what Christianity is, I feel supposed to be about loving and accepting and using your religion for good, I wouldn't be as upset. But I mean, these people are literally using religion to justify everything they're doing. And when I heard JD Vance say like, "Oh, the Pope shouldn't talk about theology," after that man's been a Catholic for all of 10 seconds, like I was born and raised Catholic, went through all the sacraments, even
Right.
had a Catholic mass and a Catholic wedding. And
Yeah.
and for you to say that the Pope needs to stay out of theology, how dare you? Like it's so and I'm obviously not as active of a Catholic now. Sorry, mom and dad, if you're watching.
But you understand what you're saying. The Catholic Church got stains on it, right?
Oh, I
Because
know.
we talking very they not clean.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No. Oh,
we're
I
not gonna do that.
absolutely know. I mean, look at the Pope before Francis. He was a Nazi Pope. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We want to
and
quit.
Well, they need to keep theology out of the government.
Yeah.
That's the
Vance
problem
needs to
because we
keep
all
it
have
shut.
different. Keep it out.
Well, I can't. I was born and raised a Catholic too, but I could tell stories about Catholicism that made me go away from it. And I'm glad to see that they finally have a pope who's woke and probably sees all this and wants to change that, perhaps. That's what I'm hoping. 'Cause I didn't
Reputation.
Not only is he woke, Maureen, but he is not afraid. And
Right.
that is what I love.
Yeah.
He, I am a lapsed Catholic, born and raised Italian. I mean, it's all there. But he is not afraid to speak up and say things. And he does it so well. He's a Southsider. So he knows how to fight.
Okay.
And he's fighting with words and facts. And that is what makes him powerful.
I probably one of the rare ones. I grew up with my family as Episcopalian. I always call it Catholic light. Because like we have a lot of the same, foundations, but when it comes to other issues like birth control, LGBT community, that type of thing, because we have gay bishops, we have women who are clergy, that type of thing. But it's still, when you look at it, it's still based on the Bible, and God has created us in his light. But the thing is we have these other people that are trying to distort the Bible from what it is for what they want. And to me, that is evil. And that's where you kind of go to the other place.
Yeah,
And
that's what's
blasphemy.
scary. That's what's scary for me. It's like they are hijacking religion, and they're doing it because they have these Christian nationalists who believe that America is supposed to be a Christian state. They put them in office. They put Trump in office, and Trump is ruining it by being the self-proclaimed orange Dr. Jesus. and that turned them. The Pope is basically telling everyone you're hijacking religion for evil doings, like to justify wars. And it's just really scary that people are falling for it. Like, basically, they're trying to make everything about religion. Religion is the reason why you need to accept all these things that go against the Bible. They're basically doing what they accuse terrorists of doing by using their, like, a Quran or whatever, their religious beliefs to, like, kill and start war. So I don't know what to do about it, but it's really scary. It's really scary.
Yeah.
We should go back and see what Jazzy just said.
Yeah,
Jazzy's been on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Jazzy's
Everyone.
comment.
Yeah.
Also, I would just love to see these people's faces when or if Jesus ever comes down and they realize he's not a white man. I would just
But
pay
what they gonna
money.
do when they trying to hide from him in the compound? That's my thing. You building it, but he can get through that.
Yep.
The thing that
100%
really
Jazz.
the thing that really irks me is hearing these Catholics that are like, when it comes to the Pope, that are just like, no, I believe Donald Trump. I'm not dealing with this. Like, I think I just saw today Sean Hannity, who's a big Catholic, said like he disavowed the Pope and was like, nope, I'm following my leader, Donald Trump. It's like,
Oh my God.
what?
It's a cult.
And again, I'm not saying that the Catholic Church is perfect because it's not. I know.
No.
Yeah.
Luckily for me growing up, I never had those experiences, but I know that, and every religion has good and bad. I know the Catholic Church has a lot of bad.
Yeah.
But it is good that they are having an example right now of how I feel more Catholics should portray. But it's crazy to me that there's still Catholics out there that are siding with Trump over the Pope. It's insane.
I find that to be very interesting.
The cult. You'll never change the cult. Okay.
Yeah.
Great topic, Katie. An important one. We keep seeing it.
And I just love that he quoted. I love that he quoted the Pulp Fiction, like verbatim, and people in the audience were laughing. Like, how stupid do you have to be?
Stupid. He's
Oh
so
my
stupid.
God!
I heard that one before.
Yeah.
Wait.
Right?
There's one where they do it side by side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don did that.
You've been at home watching the show. I mean, he's seen it about 200 times. That movie's got some bad scenes in it.
Well, and then I thought it's been a long time since I've seen Pulp Fiction. I'm like, well, in Pulp Fiction, was he quoting the Bible?
Yeah, I know. I didn't really remember from it either.
I don't remember.
Paraphrase.
Kind of vaguely remember that scene, but I'm like, well, I don't know.
I remember that scene because
Shame on me. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. All right. So let's thank you, Katie. Yeah, another great topic. Got to keep our eye on that one too. When we end up turning this all around, that's one of the things we need to take back in this country is separation of church and state.
Yes.
I mean, that's nuts. And Hungary gave us some hope on that.
Yes, he really did.